Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to AOR. My name, Evil Dragon XSL, your usual and noble host of this beautiful series today. It's raining, it is soggy, it's chucking it down, there's a deluge on the circuit, and we've got GT3 around. A circuit that very much likes being in the rain. We could all flashback 2015 in WEC, it was raining. F1, it always rains in F1, so we don't talk about that. And even before, who remembers some fantastic moments around this circuit that wind its way past the famous Mount Fuji, the giant volcano in the distance. If you don't know what Mount Fuji is, then you don't want to know, because it's very big, and if it goes boom, everyone goes dead. Yeah, that's the analogy of that one. Well, today we have 12 drivers here. Of course, we've had a few drivers had to pull out, had to miss due to other reasons. We have Vector back in the comment, well, not in the comments box, in the racetrack, which is his own box. Hopefully he does well in the Honda today. So, the number 93 making its return after missing Indianapolis, which was a very much procession last week, just 7 days ago. Now, wondering, is this week going to be any better? Now, the answer to that is probably yes. Rain, Fuji, GT cars. Two mixes that always tend to bring up good racing. The rain and Fuji works really well. GT cars work really well around Fuji. So mix all three and we potentially could have a cracker. Now, watch out for the puddles today. I've been told they're absolutely horrible. Watch out for the likes of turn number 1, the pit lane, as well. A good chance for issues down there. Now, the question everyone is wondering is, can your championship leader extend his gap up front? The answer to that, who knows? Well, let's go through everyone today. So we have Obnoxious, we have Papano, Scrolls, we have Vectro, Gaza, your championship leader. He could get the championship very soon. He's got, I think, 40 points now on the clocks. We have Coolvev, Cam, Milderman, then we got Clark, Wolf, Skuld, and Ethan, your host today of the lobby, but due to the fact that Kidari is currently on holiday. So wherever he is in this beautiful world, hope he's enjoying it. I certainly am. It's raining right now. It was a thunderstorm last night, and it was very cold. Though saying that, then it got really warm, and I died. Well, let's see, though. Who is going to be the first man to really set a competitive lap time? Let's have a look. So I think it might be Gaza right now. He's just coming down into the hairpin then. A tricky little braking zone. This is second gear. Chuck the front end in. Hope the rear grips really. This is where some of the puddles start to form. Then into the back of the circuit. Into this long right-hander towards the last sector. This, of course, added in 2004. This last sector, of course, Herman Tilke designed into what is now the penultimate corner before the famous Panasonic corner. A never-ending right-hander. What's out the puddles on the right there, you'll see forming already into Panasonic. Chuck it down in second gear, sometimes into first if you need it. Really crucial to get an exit speed here, because this is almost a kilometre-long straight, this is. Never ends. You get up to about, well, in these cars, I think obviously about 180 miles an hour for the Mercedes, maybe 170, but we'll find out, of course. They cross the line, and AOR, of course, the line on this game slightly further away than it is in real life. Of course, that's start line, and they cross it there, and they'll come down about 264 kilometers an hour, then down into the first corner. Down they come, long braking zone there, and Gazalo 143.9, so immediately putting himself on the front row of the grid. I'm wondering where Ethan's going to go then. He'll be the real driver to look, and he's 1.5 seconds down so far. Papano in P3 and the Ferrari there ahead of that Bentley. The Bentley working well here, the high altitude here in Fuji, always going to help these turbo-powered cars. Clark in the Lamborghini there. And then comes the third Mercedes of Cabo. Waiting on Wolf to set a competitive line lap, by the way. He is 3 seconds down. We're rating for Vector, who crosses the line just now, actually. Only 83 watt, well, just under 83, 13,000 down on Wolf right now. So those two very close. Rob Nuxus right now in P11. And Milderman still to set a lap time. And don't forget, by the way, to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you are new. Don't forget to follow Apex on Racing on Twitter. And me, if you want to, I am Evil Dragon XXL. If you want to hear me commentate more, which I do, solely on AOR recently, which is always a fun. Best league, I have to say. Most appreciative, and definitely the nicest I've been in a long, long time. Well, Wolf right now. There he is, the number 159 Mercedes. Currently, he lies himself second in the championship, about 4 or 5 points ahead of Ethan right now. Ethan, of course, made a few mistakes recently. Last time out in Indianapolis, he had a horrible time spinning, having mistakes, of course, and all these things happening. It's really getting to him, really. Having a Tier 4 teammate be ahead of him, you got to wonder, at that level of Tier 4, Tier 1, it's a really impressive season right now for Wolf, but nothing really can beat the lap time and the pace Gaz has got right now. He exits the pace. Pardon me, meanwhile, P3 in the Ferrari. Ethan crossing the line now. Let's see if he can jump himself up the field. He needs to find 1.499 to get himself on pole. He does not do so. So stays there. What about Wolf? He's just crossing the line now in the other Mercedes, the 159. Let's see, can he improve? 7 tenths puts him up to 7th position there. In the background there, he might have that. Must be the other car. So that might be, yeah. Corvette then up to P2, they're 1.1 off the pace then, so the other BMW, the sole BMW now after we lost Archie, earlier on in the season. Obnoxious crosses the line, does he improve? No, he does not, so still plumb dead last. Scold is still ready to set a lap time, 1.8 down, beaten by his teammate, 4 tenths there, so Scold and Vector closest together so far. Vector, by the way, tends to like Fuji, it's one of his favourite tracks, although sometimes doesn't end well. He said he likes the old one. He runs a bit wide there. This is into 100R. Tricky corner, 100-degree radius. Corner never ends. One of the oldest parts of this circuit as well. It's undergoing a little bit of transformation. It's tightened ever so slightly. Down into the first of 2 real hairpins then. And then you come down into the 300R, of course, 300 radius corner. This corner, one of the fastest on the circuit, due to the fact it's completely flat out. And then you come down to this treacherous downhill braking zone. Then it raises up just to hit the brakes. So very difficult to time it. The curbs on the inside, very easy to spin. You don't want to touch those white lines too much, otherwise the rear end steps up. It's just really a tiptoe section there. Now this back of the circuit again. You just try and find one single line that works and hope for, oh god, it works. About getting on the curbs there a little bit. And the curbs on this circuit, you have to look. They dig in, you get all the power, and you just slide the rears. And when you do, you go wide and sliding everywhere. Fetch coming through the last corner now into Panasonic. Let's see what he can do then. The Honda in its home territory. No, it's Acura, but I like saying it's pretty much a Honda because it is. Let's see what he can do right now. 7 minutes to go here in qualification here in Fuji for the, what is the Japanese Grand Prix, of course. Let's see, Kvetcher improve right now. P9, he needs to find, what about 2-3 tenths to beat Wolf right now. Let's see, crosses the line now. 1 tenth down, so it does not improve. Obnoxious though, crosses the line just about now. Can he improve? He's still 12th, 20 seconds off the pace. He only goes 4 seconds off the pace. So again, horrible qualifying for him so far. Struggling to get his Mercedes, number 9, hooked up around this circuit. Right now, I have to say, impressive lap time from Corvette. He currently is 1.1 seconds off your pole sitter. In the background there, that you can see Milderman, my previous co-commentator for the beginning of the season. He's currently in P7, the Lamborghini, the 33, not running particularly well. The nearest Lamborghini, P6, so 6 and 7 for both of the Lamborghinis right now, but they are crucially ahead of one of the Mercedes right now as well. And that guy of Wolfman's currently behind Rob Noxious in the other Mercedes as well. So a bit of a train going on there down the back of the circuit. Is Gaza right now on pole position from Corvette, who will be the first man to cross the line on this run. And let's see what he can do this time around. So a long run down towards turn 1. Let's see, can he get himself up onto the top of the field, onto P1, cross the line. And now then, can he do it? No, stays at P2 for the time being, 12 seconds down. Motorman in the pit lane, so he's bowed out of his lap. Seeing who's next to cross line, it might be Vectro, it might be Scold, I don't know. No, it's not Scold then, so Scold coming through the back of the circuit as well. Let's see, Scold through the last couple of corners. Let's see, can he get himself off the back row of the grid? That'll be ideal for Scold right now. Again, not having the best of seasons. Struggles down there. The exit the corner, the Honda does not look comfortable or whatsoever. Now can he get anywhere up the grid? Can he get himself off the back row? The answer to that is going to be Can he get himself up? Yes, he does. Goes P5. Good lap from the Honda. So, proves me what I said didn't look very comfortable. Bangs in a 1 minute 45.5. So, impressive lap for him. Puts him ahead of both of the Lamborghinis. Vector in the pit lane now. He is on the back of the grid. And Wolf as well. Really wants to get a lap on right now. Right down there as well. Camo not doing best either. Now, I presume it might just be the Rever that's proving the issue here. And Gazolo really showing us, as per usual this season, why he is the top dog. He is the quickest, and he very much is on course for the championship. I don't believe it's going to be today, but it might be next week, of course, for what I believe is the penultimate round of the season. Of course, that will be in Bathurst, where we head over to Bruno. So it's all possible the championship could be decided next week, of course, but today we have a race on our hands, of course. Fuji, which some say it's not a very nice circuit. I personally adore this circuit. I took one of my favourite wins. There's Rob Knox going around, by the way. He's got on the curbs on the inside, and that is an easy thing to do, and he seems to have parked himself and decides to teleport himself back to the pit lane. Wolf right now coming through the last corner. A few other people crossing the line, but so far still Gaza, Colvin, Pano, Ethan, Scold ahead of Squaltz in that Bentley and Clark, and then comes Colvin. Motorman actually waiting for Wolf to cross the line now. Let's see, can he get his Mercedes up ahead of Skull? No, he can't. Not having a good qualifying here in Fuji. Does seem not to be able to hook the lap up there. Might have been on a warm-up lap, however, as well out comes Camo behind. And Vectro as well. Still struggling down the back low is Rob Knox. You have to feel sorry for him. Struggling to find the pace and struggling to find any time, really. Well, Gaza, he's got his work cut out for him today. He has to really get this pole position just to extend his championship lead. And then we got Colvin as well, someone who I was not expecting in P2. That BMW, again, proving this season how deceptive it is. It's been incredibly fast throughout the last couple of the races. And again, goes even quicker. That's only 5 thousandths up. Not too much of an improvement, but an improvement is all what he needs right now. Ethan in P4 behind Papano. So again, top 3, different manufacturers there. Today, again, that's impressive. I love to see 3 different manufacturers battling themselves up front. And of course, Rosberg could not attend today. And that, of course, is one of the Shane McMahon, who has been relatively decent and brilliant this season. One last time out in Indianapolis with an incredible result, an incredible undercut, a race I was not expecting to see right at the end, and won the Indianapolis road course by a couple of months, about 4 or 5 seconds there. So, a good job for him right now. Like, we're looking at Papano coming through the back of the circuit. Rob Knox comes in the pit lane. Vetro again did not improve on his lap time. Camo neither. Motorman crosses the line. Let's see, can he improve? Yes, he does. Puts himself P4 now, ahead of Ethan. Now let's see what can Clark do. Clark goes up to P2 then in the other Lamborghini. So, Lamborghini's coming alive then at the end of qualifying with 58 seconds to go. They've showed their wings, and now they're going for it. That incredible lap from the pair of the Lamborghini drivers. Now let's see, can anyone else retaliate? The Honda, can it do anything on its home turf? 40 seconds to go. He's getting a nice tow by one of the Mercs, and he's going to have another lap. Oh, sorry, that's one of the Ferraris there, giving him a tow. Wolf in the pit lane out of qualification then. Vectro still on the lap. I believe he'll be one of the next guys to cross the line. Ethan's going to cross the line now then. Let's see, can he get himself on the front row? Only P6. He needs to be within the top 2, within the shuttle, win the championship. He's not. He's going to go for one more lap. Like Wolf coming in the pit lane, like I mentioned earlier on. I believe it's Rob Knox is out as well, so he's bowed out now. Waiting on Vectro to cross the line. I believe it's trying to scout out who else is on a lap. Gaz is in the pit lane. He's finished his lap then. Clark in P2. He's coming through the back of the circle. Pano, Kulvik, Skull. Now we're waiting to see. And there's going to be the other Honda then. And see, can Vector get himself up the grid? Can he get himself off the back row? That's the crucial question for him. Does not do so. We've got a car off in the background. I think that amounts to being Clark. Yes, it was. So he's bad of his lap. Ethan's coming through the back of the circuit. He'll love to get himself up the field. Camo's gone to P7. Scold as well, wanting to get a move on and get a lap on right now. He is with Papano right now. So those two close together. So they're going to give each other a nice tow. And let's see, can Scold get himself off of 8th position? You'd dearly love to be ahead of Ethan right now. The question is, though, can he do it? Partner comes in the pit lane, so he's bowed out of his lap then, so it looks to be P4 for him. Unless Scold can do anything. Ethan's bowed out of his lap, so waiting on Scold across the line. Goes P3 in the Honda, and he's done what he needed to do. Fantastic qualifying there. And boy, oh boy, did he deliver when it mattered solely, whilst his teammate could not. And again, Gaza, another pole position, but Clark in P2. Scold, P3 in the Honda, again proving how good of a driver Scold has been this season. Kulvip in the BMW in P4. Papano P5, Motorman P6, Ethan disappointing in P7 in the second Mercedes actually. Cameron P8, Squads P9, Wolf down in P10, Vectro P11, Rob Noxious P12 again. Disappointing qualifying for the Englishman. And Gaz, again, just proving this season he surely is on course for the championship. And you can't put it past him. He's got every single opportunity. Maybe even this round, I'm not too certain on the exact points between first and second, but I believe it's about 40 points. It's 30 for a victory. 2 rounds to go after this one. So it's within a shout. If he can get more points than Wolf and more points than Ethan, he could be very close within a shout to win the championship for the next round. It'll be incredibly close, and I would love to see what it is. Unfortunately, though, the points were not updated, so we cannot inform you on that one. I'm just ready to go in a few moments' time. And Ethan in the chat, I think it was too wet, and that's what is going to happen, of course. You really ideally want to get the best lap out right at the beginning of the session. That's what Gaza did, and it really just cemented him. Well then, it is raining here in Fuji, and it is a deluge rather than a race we're going to be getting. Wet weather, look at the puddle in the background down. Right there at the back, you can see a small puddle starting to form already, so that's going to be issues potentially there. Watch out for the drivers coming in the pit lane as well. It's going to be soggy, it's going to be slippy. Are we going to see carnage into turn number 1? Well, it's always possible. A downhill braking zone as well. I've seen before in the other races what can happen. And anything will happen, of course, and it can very much happen. Whatever's going to go down, it's going to go big. And everyone, of course, going to be running high amount of fuels. Talking to Vector earlier on, he said he will be pitting potentially early, trying to get out of that window. Just try and get himself into clean air. Of course, tyres will go off in this race. You are expecting potential for a 2-stop strategy for some of the drivers. So let's see what they're going to do. Now, I'm presuming here that Gaza is going to be the man on the mission. Watch out for that Honda and the BMW as well. They're going to be slow away off the grid. And we'll see. Down into turn number 1. It's a long run down there. So we'll find out in a few moments' time. It's getting ready to go, of course. Don't forget the formation lap as well. So Gaza will be starting on the right of your screen, on the left of the circuit. Clark on the left. Scold in third, and here we are then, getting ready to go. It took an age. The sinkers begin. Now we're getting ready then for the 5 lights. And remember, don't wait 5 seconds, it'll be off the grid one by one like Noah's Ark. And we're underway then here in Fuji Speedway then here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's Gaza leading the field away then from Clark and Scold. Top 5 separated by 5 different manufacturers. Gaza, the outright favourite to win today from Clark and Scold. Keep an eye out, by the way, I must say, for Papano in the Ferrari. Now, we've seen how good Ferrari's been around here before in the past. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes out in a little blaze of glory. Hopefully we don't see any crashes today. It's a very similar conditions, heavy rain forecast. It's soggy, what's up for the puddles? I think contact of someone spun. It's Corvip, he spun on the formation lap there. And there's issues there, yellow flags are flying around the circuit. I have not seen that since season 10, where I believe it might have been Camo, I believe, must have spun there a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. Or someone else, I can't remember off the top of my head. But a peculiar spin there. I've never seen that before in a long time. I think he even went off there a few seasons ago, but that was an issue. So he's gone on the curve, ran out wide, and that has absolutely destroyed his qualifying. Well, now the top 4 all different manufacturers. But still, we're going to get a race on. Do apologise for my voice, by the way. It is extremely hot here in the UK. I've got a drink, but it is running out very quickly. So we'll see how long this goes for. But incredible action here on the formation that a spinner within the first real section actually as well, and he's right down the back. He must have had damage as well. I don't know if he got tapped or something there, but there was a bit of contact beforehand. And yes, Carl, of course, CJ correctly pointing me out. Carl, who spun at Bruno in season 10, I remember that now. And we know how that ended up nearly going. Well, here we go then. Gaza, Clark, Scold, Papano. Top 4 manufacturers, top 4 on the grids. Are we going to see a race then? Get ready for the flag. It's a long run, remember, down towards. But it's only a short one, remember. But it's getting ready to go then in a few moments' time. The line a long way down where we've expected. And I think, yes, so Corvip in the pit lane then before the race has even begun. And here we are then, underway then. It's a good start from Gaza, Clark, and then comes the rest of the field then, down towards turn number 1. And who's it going to be then? Down towards they come then. 2 by 2, we're going to see it nice and smooth there. Vector making a move up in the background or trying. But good start from Gaza then as well, as he usually does. Clark in P2, Scold, Papano, Milderman, good start for him then, ahead of Ethan. Then comes Camo, Vectro. Then comes the Bentley down there as well, ahead of Wolf from Noxus and Clark. Sorry, so Corvette in that pit lane already then. So it is crucially the Gaza, who leads already 5 tenths, immediately pulling now. And that is what he needs to do at the start of this race, is pull a gap and try and get out of the way from the other Mercedes, who's down in P6, stuck in all the traffic. But the crucial thing is he's underway and no one at the start of this race, luckily, seems to have had an issue apart from Corvette, who is in the pit lane and very much out of the running immediately, because he'll have to stop again for tyres later on unless he can stretch it, which will not be possible. Remember, these tyres are going to go off. There you can see Ethan trying to make a move there on the outside of Milderman. They did not get it. Now we'll have the inside line here, but of course, first lap, they're all going to take it nice and smooth here. Don't really want any contact down on the first lap. Ethan knows more than anyone that Mercedes got a nice long straight line speed and should easily be able to make mincemeat of that Lamborghini. Up front though, Gaza, Clark, then comes Scold in P3, Papano in P4, then comes Ethan, and here we go, he's already got ahead of Milderman, and here we go, that's Choo-Choo's train and all aboard the Ethan train, and here all aboard, here comes Camo, and Camo easily should be able to absolutely snap. You can see the Mercedes working together there, pulls to the inside, now pulls to the right. Is Camo going to have a lunge on the inside? What's out? Vector having a look on the inside there. Camo up the inside of Ethan, Ethan a bit sideways there, gives the room, and runs out wide though, crucially keeps it ahead of the Lamborghini. And the Honda as well, the other Honda doing well. Meanwhile, Scold's got himself up to P2 in this race, so doing relatively well, or he might be under pressure now from the Ferrari. Let's see, around the outside there. Nobody brave there. Skull will have to cover the inside line. Bang, 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 they go. And they run into each other there. Skull squeezing a little bit there. And what's out now for Clark in the Lamborghini? Let's see what he can do. The Lamborghini, very good. The Ferrari seems to have a bit more straight line speed right now. A bit more grip than the Honda. Skull forced the inside line. No real opportunity around the outside. What's out behind as well? That's Ethan trying up the inside. Cameron's gone wide. And off goes Vectro. He's gone off the road. What's happened there? Oh no, he's rejoined right in Rob Noctis' face, and he's well and truly been decimated. And Camo went off the road, it seems, as well. So I'm wondering if Camo and Vectro's come together, and Wolf there now ahead. So Vectro will be lucky he hasn't got damage from that. There's now Milderman ahead of Ethan. Clark there behind Papano, and we're starting to see a battle here between these three manufacturers. We thought this might happen, of course, and it's incredible how close they are. But up front, 4 seconds, almost 5 already. Here we go then, 1-2 cars pulling to the inside. Here comes Ethan then, now pulls to the outside line down towards turn number 1 then on Milderman. Brave stuff around the outside there. Might try and get the cut back then if he can. Can't do so. Now we go on board then in the spray of Papano. They can just see how difficult it is to see Scold right now in P2 doing an incredible job again in the Honda. Just like the Mon, remember, where he did a fantastic job getting almost, could have got the victory. However, right in the end could not do it. Papano right now pulling on the press of the Ferrari. Trying its best here, and it's good to see in these wet weather. It just proves who is the good driver right now. It's very far. I must say, Gaza doing his good. I don't know how much that Merc is doing, though, but by the looks of it, not doing much, because the nearest Merc to him right now, Ethan in P3. Now, we know Ethan is not always the best and comes well. It's in the wet. We know Scald, however, is. He's won 2 races in the wet, and he's doing good. He's saying that. Look, runs wide, and might be under pressure right now from the Ferrari, who cannot do anything there. Just has to settle back right now. No way through at all. Clark as well trying to make up a few positions as well in this race. So these drivers are all ready to go, and I'm not seeing anyone coming in really early today as well. We expect they will all be staying out a lot longer than they would in normal conditions, of course. Otherwise they would have gone in a lot earlier. Right now they're staying out a lot longer than usual, due to, remember, the tyres are going to go off, so there'll be no point coming in early. Though I say that, I believe Milderman's going to come in the pit lane and prove me wrong entirely. And, well, in comes Milderman then. So he's decided to deny my objective, saying they're all going to come in later than expected. They're all going to, well, some of them are going to come in earlier. So Milderman in then for the first stopper of today. And that's earlier than I expected. So, unless he knows something that we don't, we know the tyres are going to be going off a lot earlier than normal. Wolf now in P6 now. Net 7, of course, remember when everyone else has to pit. But it's the 2 SBR guys now down at the back of the field. Meanwhile, Skull, Papano battling together again then. So Papano now ahead of Skull then. So the battle between the Ferrari and the Honda working well. Skull now, I'm wondering, he'll probably try to slip run up the inside. No, Skull's a nice little sneaky one. Let's see, is he going to go up the inside? He is going to go up the inside on the brake. Predictable stuff then on the brakes. Has he gone too deep? Yes, he has. Has he got the car stopped? No, but there's Compton in the background. And there, and that's Clark, who's running to the side of the Ferrari. And that is not what he wanted to do. He locked up, he got on the curve, looked like tried to late brake himself. And of course, Papano broke earlier there, trying to give Scold rim there. And straight into the side. And I have to say, in these wet weather conditions, hard to put any blame on any of the drivers right now. But that was a wallop and a half. And luckily, I think Papano might have got away without any damage. Looks like he has. And all this really has done is allowed Scold to pull away a little bit more. And they're all doing relatively well right now. You've got to wonder, who is the real winner of this race so far in the first couple of stints. I must say, Scold, impressive right now. The background there, you can see that is Romnoxious, I think, having a look on the inside of Clark there, potentially. No, he has to back off there a little bit further back than he wants to be, of course, deceiving in the camera how far back they really are. But contact never good. Now, you're always wondering, right here in this race, who is the man of the losers? And you've got to say right now, it is definitely Corvette. He started P4 in the race, but spun on the formation lap. And like we said, Carl W was the last person to spin on the formation lap, or at least I remember, in a long, long time. He even did it in Season 10 as well in Spain. But that was due to a wheelbase issue on that occasion. Right now, Corvette, he's going to have a long afternoon as well as Motorman. He is in the pit and, of course, the first man to stop of all of the drivers. But right now, it's Gaza, Scold, Papano, Camo, Wolf, Squalt in the Bentley doing a stellar job, I must say. Sticking with the Mercedes right now. Apologies for the voice break. But astonishing. Absolutely astonishing pace. It's absurd, the pace. I think we need to make a new tier, you know, for Gaza. Called Alien Tier, because that's the pace he's got so far this race. And he is doing absolutely brilliantly. Skull now in P2, Papano in P3. Camo, Wolf, Squalt, Clark, Romnoxious, then comes Ethan, Vectoring, and then comes Milderman and Corvette down in P12. So Romnoxious down there in P7 right now, and ahead of Ethan, who must have made a mistake recently because he's dropped right down to P8 right now, behind Romnoxious. Again, second race in a row where Ethan just seems to have not got the edge, or just something does not seem to be on his way. Just seems to be struggling. In comes Clark, meanwhile. Looks like I had a bit of damage potentially on the front end bumper, maybe a bit of damage, so he's going to come out ahead of Milderman right now. So it just proves that Milderman did not really gain any time from making that earlier pit stop. And I do apologise quickly, so I just go and refill my drink quickly, so I'll be back in just a few moments. And I am back, sorry for that there. Camo right now in P4, Papano in P3. Wolf in P5 from Squelch right now in P6. Well, not just now in P7. Ethan P8, he's dropping back more and more right now. If I was him, I'd run to getting an early pit stop and then try and get out of the way. But we'll see. Always a long race there. Someone's come in the pit, and that must be Vector, I think, coming in the pit. Nice and early then for him, decides to bail out of the strategy there and then go for an earlier stop like he mentioned you might try earlier on. So, absolutely stellar job. And you've got to wonder, by the way, and you've got to give props to all the drivers right now as well. Intense heat down here, especially in England. I don't know if you're in America or anywhere else in the world. You're probably wondering that it's probably a bit tame here in England, being about 32 degrees right now in here. So it's warm, not used to this heat, commentating at least. So I do apologise if I sound a little bit exhausted because it's very hot. And wherever you are in the world, let me know how warm it is down where you are, because I don't know about you, but right now the heat very much is skyrocketing. And I love to be in these conditions right now. Nice and cool weather. I love to stand right now, right in the middle of the circuit. Not reach across the cars going, because that wouldn't end well. But I like these cool conditions. And very much if you, the weatherman, can maybe get some nice cool wind coming in. Meanwhile, Wolf running very wide as well. Now, yesterday as well, I was talking to Ethan, Scold and Wolf, and they were saying they had to pull out of the social race due to the heat. So, especially if you're on the wheel, it's going to be a lot more difficult because you have to work it. It's going to be more difficult to work around. But right now, Wolf under pressure right now from the Bentley. And the Bentley right now doing an incredible job. How good he is. Wolf did just make a mistake, of course, but the Bentley, surely he's not going to try and make a move on the Mercedes. That's going to be incredible. He is trying to make a move on the Mercedes. The Bentley, go on, my friend. Try it as hard as you like. Let's see, can he do it? Wolf struggling in the wet, and the Bentley trying his hardest to find a gap here on that 9 of 35. The Bentley working brilliantly, trying to pressurize the Mercedes. Now, I've not seen that ever. That's incredible. That's just proving the attitude here in Fuji. Just proving how good the cars are. They're a lot equaler in these higher altitudes. All we know, though, is Gaza is an alien. He's just running away with it. Scold ahead of Apano. Camo in P4 right now ahead of Wolf. And Squelch, who's getting ever so close to the back of that Mercedes. You've got to wonder if he's going to try and make a move on anytime soon. He's always a man to watch in these conditions. Is Wolf. He loves the rain. But right now the Bentley's got the edge on him. Bit of slide down the rear. Rob Noctis and Ethan behind as well. So, these drivers all close together. Good stuff to see. Meanwhile, like I said, Milderman ahead of Clark right now. Clark now behind Milderman. He's getting called by Vector now as well. Nonetheless, though, incredible pace from all of the drivers. And so far, Scold from Papano. Scold now got that gap about 4-5 seconds. And he is doing the best job he can do right now on the circuit. Camo had a Wolf. And here comes Ethan, I think, having a potential for a look. Here on Rob Noxious. Couldn't do it. Too far back to try and make a move on there in this incredible, the treacherous race. Of course, the rain pouring down here in Fuji. And as per usual, Gaza, you just got to wonder how he is coping up there. The lead this far, you got to wonder sometimes. The man, of course, the same livery exactly, the last season's champion, of course, that being the driver of, I believe it was the Schmidt. Yes, it was the Schmidt, last year's champion driver. That exact livery, I believe. Alaudo is the old version of it. But nonetheless, doing a beautiful job. Skull, Parno, Camo, Wolf, Rob Noctis, and then comes comes Ethan, then comes Milderman, Squelch, Clark, who Squelch's come in the pit. I mean, well, by the way, I just noticed it there. And then comes Vetro. Scrolls, Milderman, you've got to wonder for Milderman as well. He's down there in P8, and he seems to be not being able to cope with that Lamborghini. He had a great race last time out, but again, he just seems to be struggling right now compared to everyone else. 50 seconds, about a 30-second pit stop. I think we're seeing Rob Knox in the pit lane now then. So, Milderman should be ahead of Rob Knox. It'll be very close to see. Now, I'm going to go on board here if we can. You can just see the puddles there down in this pit, and that's going to be the treacherous thing for all of these drivers. Very easy. You can see them taking a very shallow line there. And I've seen a few drivers spin there, mainly because I may have done that a few times. Gonna be honest, not the best driver in the world, me. That's why I'm in the commentary box, because last time I tried to race on Fuji was on GT6 properly. That's the last time I ever won a race in a league. And you could tell how long ago that was. And that was an LP1 car. That was the good old, if anyone remembers, the old Judd cars, the Pescarolos. And I run back there on GT6, and one of my favourite races of all time, run by 50 seconds actually, in that occasion, in the rain I believe that was, as well of course. that GT6 is project cars, and I've never really been able to get the grips of project cars, which is always one of those things. But right now, you can see all these drivers as well. But a fair play to Scott right now in the rain. He's doing a fantastic job up front. And do you get your, in the chat, by the way, what your greatest victory is in endurance racing, in general sim racing as well? What is your greatest achievement in your racing? As Papano runs wide at the top of the hill. Papano, meanwhile, third position from Camo, Wolf and Ethan right now, closing up there between the two teammates, the 129 and the 160, sorry, the 159 and the 160. Both doing a good job right now, both leading the Constructors' Championship by, well, we'll just say a very big margin. They're leading it by about 60 points, I believe, right now. Of course, they are the only two drivers in a exact team complex. They are both running together, and you always got to wonder as well what other drivers could do if they were here as well. Well, 12 drivers, and fair play to all these 12 drivers as well in this heat. They're doing a phenomenal job of just coaxing it around. And again, Skull, 12 seconds off the lead. Surely this driver, if he was in the right car, he must be the man of the season for just the pure performance as he runs wide and watch out for the puddles. But he loves the rain, of course. He won those two other races in the rain last, I think last season it must have been, in torrential conditions, as well as the season before, also in torrential conditions. So Scald is a driver known to be driving in the wet, both of those at Sugo, if I'm not too mistaken. He won his first race in Sugo in the wet, and he won his second race in the wet as well. So rain driving Scald's forte. He tends to like driving in the rain, but right now he's really being shown up by Gaza right now, a second a lap quicker almost. But Scald, the only other driver really in that top group. Camo, I say the other driver in the other Mercedes doing relatively well. He's catching up to Papano right now in the Ferrari. Nonetheless, good job for those two. Vector, meanwhile, and he really does prove, actually, my point that how good Scald is. Vector in the identical car, the identical setup, cannot get anywhere, and he's under pressure right now from Coolvep. And let's see, can Coolvep really do anything right now against that Honda? Nice long slipstream down the straight. Let's see, should be relatively easy. Vector shouldn't cover it too aggressively. Let's see, is he going to go up the inside line then? Let's see. Coolvep always down on the brakes down the inside. He goes down on the brakes, dives up the inside. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, he can. Runs too deep though. Vector covers him on the inside though. And now side by side down towards Coca-Cola, which I fancy one right now. But that's not branding. Coca-Cola currently come then. Vector on the outside line. Has he got the position through still? Yes, he has. So, Vector keeps that position, doing a good job covering off that Coolvep. The BMW though, of course, had that damage earlier on, climbing back through the field. But Ethan and Skull still close together, and again 16 seconds now, 1:45 I must say the last lap time from Gaza. And remember, it's getting wetter out there, so you imagine they'll be going slower. No, they're going quicker. 1:47.2 there from Skull. Rapano there on a 1:47.3, 1:47.3 as well from Camo. Then comes Wolf and Ethan there in the other two Mercedes. And those two, 1:48 and 1:47 there. They're almost 2 seconds a lap slower than your race leader. Incredible pace. And you've got to wonder, for the likes of Mildeman for the likes of Wolf and Camo. How are they doing in this heat? I do keep banging on about the heat for these drivers, especially on the wheel. And I must say, even in the chat, if you're on a wheel, and if you could back me up here, I believe I was speaking to a few drivers as well, and they say on the wheel in heat like this, it's unbearable to cope and just to concentrate as well. And I wonder, especially if you are a wheel user in this heat, how do you cope out there as well? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Especially if it likes in some countries as well, you get up even hotter temperatures. Just how do you cope? Camo's lost it! There, and that there, the rear end steps out there, number 41, pirouetting there through the back of the circuit. Somehow, though, keeps it out of the barriers. That's a very high-speed section there. Very odd place to lose it there. And surprised, so might have gone the white line. Hard to see there from the camera angle, but spun he did. Meanwhile, these two still together as well. Down the straight, and I think Ethan might try up the inside there of his teammate. A little bit too far back low right now, so just has to set back. There they come though, down into turn number 1, down into turn number 2. Wolf now ahead of, sorry, so the other way around. Ethan ahead of Wolf now, so they have switched in these conditions. Hey, what? The first amount of penalty. That's a time penalty for speeding the pit lane, if I'm not too mistaken. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. So he's sped in the pit lane there. So that is a little bit of a shame there for Camo. Not what he wants to see. $15 laps down here in Fuji. So far, look, the leader in the lead of this race. Gas up. 20 laps to go, by the way. Expecting him to come in the pit lane soon. And you've got to wonder, though, what's Skull going to do? He's going to have to start covering off a few other drivers as well. While Ethan now pulling away from Wolf. I believe Wolf might be coming in the pit lane this lap, you know. That could be even a shout to try and do an undercut. Still doing a good job. Those two, Mildeman, Clark, Squalt, Kulvik, Camo, and Vector right now up front. And I must apologise, by the way, if you can't hear my PS4, by the way. It is very loud on my, well, at least I can hear it. I'm not sure if anyone else can. Do apologise if you can in the stream, but it is running very warm right now as well. So, apologies for that. But Ethan and Papano, top 4 right now, with Gaza, and then Scold in P3. 2, so I say. Clark right now, some mistake down there into T number 1 there, so struggling extremely bad. Meanwhile, Cool Whip trying to make a few positions. Do apologize, by the way, if I do go quite a little bit there, because it's very warm, like I said. My voice is very hurting. Squeezing a little bit to the inside, I might say, right now. So, gives him the room, though, down the inside. Cool Whip, can he go up the inside? And on the brakes outside comes Pano, 3 wide into turn number 1. And I think just about got through. They all somehow slot in there. Very good start. Oh, no! No, 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 no. That isn't good. That's not good at all. That's Pano going round. And that there is contact. And that's the Bentley as well. Now, what on earth has happened there? And it just looked to me like Papano, he just looked like he came across a little bit too much there. The Bentley, we know how big it is. And bang, and off they go. And that is not what you want to see there. Well, that's allowed, though. Is Vector now to come through. So, Vector's going to be happy about that. Disappointed there. So, trying into each other down to turn number 1. Exit turn number 1 down towards turn number 2, and easy thing to do. Late braking, and of course in these conditions, very difficult stuff to really slow down as well and judge the gaps between the drivers. And now Vector going to be under pressure now from that Bentley as well. He was trying to close up as well on the back of him. And let's see, can the Bentley, Squelch, who's done a relatively decent job in this race so far. He's down to P10, remember, he has made that pit stop, so we're expecting them to jump up a little bit later on. Let's really see how far they can come with just under 15 odd laps to go. If they can close up and try and pass. Meanwhile, sorry again, Squelch and Vector getting closer together. And do make a bit of contact down there. And that's proving Squelch there late on the brakes, trying his hardest to find a gap and proving difficult to pass the Dutchman. So let's see, like that towards turn 1 is always the opportunity. A long way back. Let's see, can he do anything? Slipstream. Fling it then. Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left then? Let's see. Down they come then. Down towards the start line. Which way is he going to go? Has the Bentley got enough speed in it? And let's see, he's going to come. Adventure's going to go to the inside. That little bit of a move. Now the Bentley. Can he do anything? No, he can't. Had to sit back for the time being. Now he can get an exit low. Now is the opportunity. If he can try and get a run down the hill, he can try and get him down in towards T number 1. The question is, can he get him down towards turn number 1? It's always difficult in these conditions. Let's see, he goes to the left, now he goes to the outside. Now he's going to try the long way round. And he'll try and get the run down here and towards the hairpin. That's the ideal for him. Can he do anything brave then? Can he try up the inside? He did last lap and it almost worked. Well, this lap, no, he can't do so. What's up for Papano? Oh, he's hit him. He's hit him. They've done it again. And that almost there looked like he just couldn't stop. I don't know what on earth happened there. But through they went and contact was made. That they're probably the last thing they wanted to happen. Meanwhile, sculled in from P3 now. He's just come out, and by the way, and he's well ahead of his nearest rival there, down there in P4, that's Corvette there, so really showing the advantage he has got in this race right now, and Skull proving to us why he is a man of the hour. Meanwhile, pardon me, he might get himself a penalty for that. We've got a car from the background. Is that Ethan? It is. And he's spun. Now, wondering what's happened there, because that's a very odd place to spun. He must have gone on the puddle or something. Is he coming in the pit lane, potentially? No, he's not. So I'm wondering what has happened for him. But he's spun the car. In a very odd position. We saw Clark did that in qualifying. So I'm wondering what the issue could have been there. Nonetheless, low down the hill they come then into the back of the circuit. Up now in P5, and he's also doing a relatively good job. And he's ahead, he's already made his stop, I believe, and he right now ahead of the midfield. So, again, a few drivers proving their worth today. There you can see Vetro and Papano battling together. And Vetro a bit tail happy there. Papano there trying to make a move there. He's going to have a look up the inside. That's never going to work. Vetro's going to cut the door off. And he has to give the gap there in the end to Papano. Cheeky little fellow. Gets through there on Vetro. Is rather forced to open the door there, because if he turned any more they would have had contact, and that would not be ideal. Now down the straight, can he come back is the question. Nice long run there. So is Vetro going to dive up the inside on the brake? The Ferrari's very good though. Vetro thinks about it, can't do it, has to sit back